Gorillaz for me has always been about taking risks sonically. They always have these songs that are weird and different. And even though me, who I listen to Gorillaz all the time, I'll listen to them and at first be like, that's weird, and I don't really care for it. Then I listen again, and I listen again, and I listen again, and I go, wow, this is incredible. It's taking so many risks, it sounds so cool, it's so interesting and different.
On Cracker Island it was born.
And there isn't one single song on this album that I thought that about. The only ones were singles. Cracker Island and Skinny Ape were really the only ones where I was like, this sounds so different. Everything else is manicured to the point where every single song, especially the deeper cuts, sound like Damon Albarn trying to make a Taylor Swift song. The Tired Influencer, which is the third track on this album, a lot of people seem to like it, and that's cool. A lot of people love this album, and that's cool. But the Tired Influencer represents everything I dislike about music. The beat is fine. It's, again, kind of 80s inspired synth pop, but man is it on the nose, and man is it obvious. The Tired Influencer, being the title, should tell you everything you need to know about this obvious and obnoxious track. I really dislike the writing on this. It's the worst track the Gorillaz has released in some years. Oil is a song I do like, although my biggest gripe with it, and my biggest gripe with a handful of these tracks, is that the feature, in this case Stevie Nicks, has almost nothing to do. It's a fun track, it's bouncy, it's groovy, it has a fun little hook, a fun refrain, some fun little bars, but man, Stevie Nicks needed a verse. Like, what were we doing? There's like 100,000 features on Song Machine, and almost all of those features have breathing room to do what they do best. This Stevie Nicks is just doing background. Why would you get Stevie Nicks to do background and harmonies? It makes no sense to me. And it's a fine track. I enjoy it more than most of the other tracks on this. But what are we doing, you know? But then we get one of my least favorite Gorillaz tracks in a hot minute, Tarantula. What even is this? The beat is possibly the most inoffensive, boring, trite, terrible beat that Gorillaz has ever put out. I mean, there's some beats that are worse. Like, on the deluxe edition, Crocodiles has possibly the worst beat on this album. It just sounds like a demo. A complete unfinished demo. And I hate that song. I absolutely despise that song. But Tarantula feels so manicured to the point where it sounds bad. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. It sounds so expensive. It sounds so pristine, even, that it sounds bad. Like, I listen to it and I'm like, man, this sounds like nothing. And then we follow that up with another song I really dislike, Tormenta, with Bad Bunny, which is just a Bad Bunny song. Where's the Gorillaz influence? I don't even know. I'm so tired of this album at this point. There's many times when I would just give up at Tarantula. I'd just stop listening and maybe skip straight to Skinny Ape or just stop listening entirely. Because this album is exhausting. And Tormenta just is tormenting me. It's just a bland nothing track. It's gonna be huge for them because Bad Bunny is huge. And that's cool, Gorillaz. Get yourself a bag. Get yourself a hit. That's fine. I hate it, though. I can't listen to this track. It even has that generic sounding Latin pop beat. The gung, ka-kung, kung, kung, ka-kung, kung, kung. And I'm tired of hearing that. That little kung, ka-kung, kung. I'm so sick of hearing that. I can't hear that anymore. There's been some great Gorillaz tracks that are Latin-inspired with Spanish speakers or singers or rappers that sound nothing like anything I've heard before. And then this one is just the most bland version of everything that has led up to this point. I don't understand. Then we end with Possession Island. Possession Island's a fine track. Piano-backed, lamenting, melancholy, the typical things Damon's known for. It sounds like a lot of this album, in fact, sounds like kind of Damon Albarn solo offcuts. And this one is fine. It's just fine. It's incredibly forgettable. Beck, just like Stevie Nicks, is doing background. Why? He was awesome on Valley of the Pagans when you let him do his thing. So why not do that again? Why is he just singing background? The first time I listened to this, I legitimately didn't even notice he was on the track. I thought Damon was just harmonizing with himself. Because they sound kind of similar. So why is he doing background? Why even get a feature at that point? It's even worse than the Stevie Nicks one. Because Stevie at least puts a tiny bit of flair on her stuff. Beck is just there going, and the 10-track release, I'd give like a 6. It's so disappointing. It's so frustratingly top 100. A lot of these songs sound so similar and so bland. It just kind of is this soup that all just kind of merges together. I do like, actually, the deluxe tracks more than a lot of the deep cuts, though, if I'm being honest. The deep cuts are just so bad on this album. They're so generic. I can't even say they're bad. They're just bland. But the deluxe tracks, kind of enjoyable. There's one called Controlla with MC Bin Laden that I quite like. It's going back to Gorillaz rap, which I enjoy. There's not a lot of rap on this album. There's literally one verse from Booty Brown. And other than that, there's not a single rap feature, which is kind of a Gorillaz staple. Where's the rap? We round out with Silent Running, the piano version, and I really love this track. The New Gold remix, I can take or leave. But I really love the piano Silent Running. It builds in a really lovely way. It has this gorgeous piano. Damon Albarn is singing beautifully. And Adelia Adamato proves that he should have been more of a feature on the original Silent Running, which is a track I like, but I wanted more of him because he just does background. The 3 songs with 3 artists that prove that they should be doing more than background, and Adelia Adamato absolutely should have been. On this piano version, he goes sicko mode at one part. He's going, oh, taking me on the run. He's amazing.
Underground. Oh, I'm silent running.
It's frustrating. If you want to check out my every song Gorillaz has ever made list, ranked, check out the description. I made a playlist for my top 30 songs on Spotify and Apple Music. Check out the description. Now I can be done with this album. At least most of it. I'll still listen to Cracker Island. I'll still listen to Skinny Ape. I'll still listen to Silent Running. I'll still listen to Controlla. And I'll probably still listen to New Gold. But I'm not sure how well they'll age. Especially when they remind me of this fart